7 February 2023, and today there is a trending survey which has been released by the Brenthusrst Trust Foundation, and this survey has caused a lot of problems for ZANU-PF because it shows that young people especially have lost their faith in the current President Mnangagwa. And these kind of surveys, I normally take them very, very seriously because of past experience. These are serious surveys which should worry ZANU-PF, especially given that we're only a few months to the elections. So this survey was conducted between 18 January and 27 January 2023, and it was made up of 15 questions or 15-minute questionnaire. And according to the Brenthusrst the Trust Foundation, or the Brenthusrst Foundation, 1,000 people were questioned, and this number is sufficient to reach a conclusion on the opinions of people. So according to this report or survey, 75% of the respondents said they will vote. 53% will vote for Chamisa, and 40% will vote for President Mnangagwa. Then CCC, in terms of parliament and senators and so forth, will win 50% or 52% of the vote, and ZANU-PF will win 40%. So you can easily see that ZANU-PF is coming in with about 40% of the vote compared to Chamisa. And then Chamisa is the most positively viewed politician in Zimbabwe, and I'm talking here of 59%, followed by President Mnangagwa at 43%, Tendai Biti at 41%, General Chiwenga at 36%, Mutuli Ngcobo at 29%, Valerio Spanda at 28%, Washman Ngcobo at 20%, Douglas Munzora at 14%, and Robert Chapman at 11%. Then obviously, Munzora is the most negatively viewed politician. Obviously, that's the inverse of what we just saw in terms of the favorable. Then CCC is most favorably viewed at 58%, and ZANU-PF 41%, MDC of Munzora at 19%. So if you put the two MDCs together, that means you've got here 58% plus 19%. That means there are people who in the opposition who view both parties favorably. I think that's what it means, because then the numbers will be over 100%. Then obviously the MDC is negatively viewed by the people who were questioned, while 47% of the people who were questioned believe that the MDC or the CCC will do better than ZANU-PF. So 47% for CCC and 33% for ZANU-PF. Then 54% of people believe that things are moving in the wrong direction in Zimbabwe. This is a very interesting answer, because it means only half of the people in Zimbabwe believe things are moving in the wrong direction. Given the situation in Zimbabwe, this is a very strange answer. And then corruption and jobs are the most important issues for 35%. So 35% corruption and 27% jobs, which gives us just over 60% in terms of what are the important issues in Zimbabwe. And then who is responsible for the problems in Zimbabwe? ZANU-PF. 60% of the people in Zimbabwe believe that ZANU-PF is the problem, whereas 14% believe that sanctions are the problem. So you can see how big the people in Zimbabwe believe ZANU-PF has caused the problem. And then in terms of a coalition, 51% of Zimbabweans want a coalition. And then to end it all, 46% of respondents or people who were asked would leave Zimbabwe immediately if they had a chance. And they'll obviously go to the UK, South Africa, Australia. These are the most popular destinations. And in terms of how many people have got relatives who live outside of Zimbabwe, it's 78%. And about 51% of those who were questioned have a relative who lives in South Africa. And then in terms of whether the election will be free and fair, 47% believe that the election will not be free and fair, and 38% believe that the election will be free and fair. So this number shows you that people are not sure about the election process in Zimbabwe, and this needs to be addressed. ZEC needs to deal with these issues. But this must cause a lot of problems. This kind of survey should cause a lot of problems within ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is failing to respond to this kind of survey reports. These are not things that you can ignore. And the implication for the election campaign of ZANU-PF, where their presidential candidate is around 40%, only a few months from the elections, is very worrying. But if I was Chamisa, I would also be very worried because he's around 53%. And to win this election emphatically, Chamisa needs to be around 75%. He needs to emulate what happened to in Zambia to President Hakainde Hichilema. And these numbers of 40%, 50%, when you are doing a survey in the cities, it can become a problem if the rural areas then are not properly represented in this kind of survey. So if I was ZANU-PF, totally worried, you should panic and do something about this. But if I was Chamisa, I wouldn't celebrate at all. I would do a lot of work. He's ahead in terms of this survey, but not enough. So very, very interesting survey. We'll attach the actual survey on Zimbabwe2023elections.com website. You can go and see it there, or you can go on the Brenthusrst Foundation website. They've got it there for download. Thank you very much.